What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm coming at you guys a little late, but we are doing it live. We are doing it live. I missed a podcast sometime last week. I had a lot of stuff doing, so I had to miss it. But we are going to make it up. I mean, so much salt, guys. So much salt. Hit that like button. Hit it, as my brother Yataza said there. Let me give some shout outs there. We have Biarius. What up? What up, my guy? We have Anonymous Boss. What's up, man? Yataza. My brother, big supporter. Peace strong, big supporter, man. How you guys going? Gary Rogers. What up, man? See you like the music. RWK 88. What's up? We're gonna put some glue, man. Send these ponies some glue. Factory. What up, man? Legendary. Yo. What up, man? P lump. What do I mean by P lump? Is that a pony lump? What's that there, man? Hey, backstrap, man. On time, in time, and in your time, man. Backstrap Otaku News. You guys looking for anime news? That's the guy to go to, man. Yeah, so how you guys been doing, man? How you guys been doing? I mean, these streets are getting wild, man. These guys are acting up crazy. Well, we have a good few news stories for you guys today. I mean, there's a lot going on so far in the industry. I'm seeing Sony letting go, uh, persons who are making the hard drive disc. I'm seeing all sorts of narratives changing now. Um, but we will talk about it. We will talk about it, guys, because somebody has to talk about it. These guys are sick. They are sick and they need to be called out for their sickness, right? The first thing we'll talk about today is we are going to talk about a dead game because according to the PlayStation fans, it was dead, right? Now it's amazing how it's amazing how we could see a resurrection right before our eyes, right? Right? Who's this guy spelling? Who is this guy here? This next guy. He's crazy or something? Somebody get him out of here, man. Get him out. Get him out of here, man. What is spelling there? Anyway, yes, we are going to talk about a dead game. You see, a lot of these guys said Palworld was dead. You all remember that? A lot of these guys said Palworld was dead. And they basically was laughing, saying that we only had a game that lasts 2 months, and it just so happened that recently we saw this happening, guys. And I mean, who would have guessed, right? Who would have guessed that Palworld would have made a resurgence? I mean, none of us is new to this type of game or this style of game. When games as a service is released, it's obvious, especially if there's a nice loop to it, you would see a good surge of players. I mean, there are a lot of games as a service that does not do well. For example, Foam Stars. I mean, you ponies didn't play that at all. Foam Stars came and like a wet fart, it died. It didn't even reach the surface. It didn't even reach the ozone layer. It just dropped flat. That was Foam Stars. But Palworld sold a lot. Palworld sold, I believe, was 20 million. I could be corrected if you guys think it was 20 million it sold. And no, it didn't sell 20 million, sorry. It had 20 million players. I think it sold like 3 million, right? But Palworld was a massive, massive success. I mean, it broke Steam records. It broke all sorts of records. But this is the resurgence here. This is the comeback. Now, this information is brought to you by Inside Gaming, right? And they are saying that Palworld's player count soars by 700% following a new update. So this is what happens when it is a game is released. and it lasts like 2 or 3 months. It would only see a surge after it gets an update, and this is exactly what happened. Let's see what this article is saying here. This article is saying that Palworld's latest update has added a new island. This is the Sakura Jima Island, along with a series of new pals, enemies, and items. It's the most sizable update the game has received since being released in January 2024, and it has caused a surge in popularity, with player counts booming across all platforms. Using Steam as a representative example, we can confirm that Palworld's player count skyrocketed by more than 700%. It went from a peak concurrent count of around 15,000 users before the update, and peaked of more than 130,000. This is a lot, guys. This is a lot. I mean, those guys there at is it Pocket Square, or what's the name of that company? I think it's Pocket Square or something like that. They did a good job to release this update. I mean, right now Palworld has seen massive success. Do you play Palworld? How far did you reach? What are your levels and so forth? Did you beat the game? Did you catch all the pals in it? It went on to say, former glory. It might have seen a sudden surge in players, but Palworld likely won't ever be restored to what it once was. In January, when Palworld hype train was in full flow, the game peaked at 2.1 million concurrent players in Steam. Now, guys, be honest. You guys knew Palworld would have been this successful. Now, I appreciated what Microsoft did in supporting this indie dev. I mean, I don't know if Microsoft saw the vision beforehand, but Microsoft really did score a hit here by supporting Palworld, by putting Palworld on their platform, on their showcase. I think several times Microsoft did that. And we are seeing it paid off. Now Palworld have dedicated servers. Palworld have, new players coming in. This is a real good look for Palworld. The pony said it's dead. The pony said this game was dead. But it seems that 130,000 is more than a type of game that it's more than a game that you guys know about. Yeah, buddy. So that was the first story we had for you guys today. Palworld is seeing a new surge when it comes to, player count. Now there's another article we have here, and this time it is talking about what occurred. You see, what occurred this week was Microsoft announced that they were making a partnership with Amazon, right? Now, this partnership would be a partnership basically for their streaming devices and so forth, right? And this partnership is for streaming. Microsoft is trying to push their streaming, and this is a very smart way in pushing their streaming, right? Now, it's funny though that the PlayStation community is using this as some sort of gotcha moment. They are saying that because Microsoft came up with this deal, the Xbox console is dead. I don't know how their brain cells put that two and two together, but it's very interesting what this article says here. Now look at this article. This article here shows something that even Sony was going to do. Tell me what you guys think about this. You guys seen that? This is an article written in 2022 by Game Rant, right? Hear what it says. Sony patents pass through device for cloud gaming compatible with Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Google Chromecast. Would you look at that? Would you guys look? Where are these ponies at? I thought Microsoft doing this was a bad idea, but it just so happened that Sony was planning to do this. Sony was planning to do exactly what Microsoft did 2 years ago. And why didn't the gaming media or these ponies say anything about Sony, what Sony is doing about the hardware and so forth? Nothing was mentioned about that. Let's read this article and see, because this is damning. This is not only the Fire Stick, this is Apple TV and Google Chromecast. Let's see what it says here. It says, a recent patent filed by Sony has the iconic developer looking at enabling PlayStation Cloud gaming across a variety of streaming devices. The rise of cloud gaming has seen plenty of gaming biggest developers turning to game streaming to bring their new games to more consoles than ever. Cloud versions of games have allowed platforms like Nintendo Switch to stream games like Resident Evil 7 that the hardware may not be able to support, while others like Xbox have made Game Pass available through Samsung TVs. Now Sony is looking to get in on the streaming trend. So yeah, Sony was doing this. So why you ponies were saying that this game here, what Microsoft is doing is bad for the industry? Why are these guys saying that Microsoft looking to making this deal with Amazon is a bad deal for their platform? It's very simple. A streaming device could never compare to hardware. It can never compare to something native at home, a hard drive. It would always have disadvantages when it comes to streaming games. The input lag will not be smooth. I mean, everyone internet varies, right? So why would anyone reason that this is bad for console? If anything, using a streaming device gets persons more, how to say, acquainted with the platform. And guess what? When they get a taste of Game Pass via that streaming stick, don't you think they might be more inclined to buy a Series S? Don't you think they might be more inclined to buy a Series X or whatever platform Microsoft has in the future, because they got a taste of the Fire Stick? I mean, the entry into gaming today is more accessible than ever before. A Fire Stick is like 50 US. You add a $15 Game Pass Ultimate, and you could be gaming all of those high quality games for just under $70. What a deal! What a deal! So this is a smart move. In addition to that, guys, we know how many persons visit Amazon, how many persons have, Amazon on their tablets, on their phones, and so forth. If Microsoft is to make a deal to advertise Game Pass on the Amazon store, don't you think that would be potential growth for the Microsoft platform? Sony was trying it after all. Sony was trying to get it. Microsoft saw these guys trying to get this deal. And when Microsoft saw that, you guys know Microsoft has the money. You guys know Microsoft has the money to play. Microsoft just came and snuck up to these ponies and said, surprise, ponies!
Oh, no! One and done! He ain't getting up!
Surprise, ponies! Surprise! This is what you guys had in store. And yet, yes, you are correct. Right now, Microsoft has the potential of getting 200 million eyeballs on the Xbox Game Pass, and that is very how to say that could prove to be very lucrative when it comes to Xbox Cloud and so forth, right? So this is just these ponies making something into nothing, making nothing into something. When it comes to this, Microsoft making a deal with Amazon. Sony was doing it. They didn't say anything. And now they are complaining because Microsoft is doing it. Isn't that a shame? So that is the second story. Let me know what you thought about that. What you thought about Sony initially was looking to put their games and their service onto different streaming devices. Let me hear what you think about that. Now, we had some ponies talking a lot of foolishness sometime this week. A lot of foolishness they were talking. Let's see what Anonymous Boss says here. Anonymous Boss, let's see what he says here. Anonymous Boss with the $5 dono. Thank you, my guy. Don't forget you could support the stream just like Anonymous Boss by hitting a super chat or so forth. It would help, no doubt. Anonymous Boss says, hit the like button, guys. Let's get it. These ponies are sick. They are always sick. It's not now they are sick, Anonymous Boss. They have been sick since 1985. They are off that pony dust, the pony crack cocaine. That is what they're on, man. This is a sickness. Yeah, buddy. All right. Thanks for that donation, Ben, Anonymous Boss. Much appreciated. Now, there has been a pony talking a lot of stupidness. We say that in my country. We don't say stupidness. We say stupidness, right? Hear what this guy has been saying about now Stellar Blade came out this week, and with Stellar Blade they announced that it sold 1 million. Now that 1 million was very surprising to the Xbox community. Would you guys agree? Would you guys agree that 1 million was surprising for Stellar Blade? If it was surprising to you, let me know why it was surprising in the comment section. I will give you my reason as to why it was surprising to me, right? I am going to give you, and let me know if I'm on the money. If what I am saying is, it was surprising, right? So we, of course, saw the 1 million and we thought, nah, this ain't it. 1 million for a game this hyped up? 1 million for a game that you guys had a whole petition. We did a video here, guys. Did you guys remember the video we did here? A very funny stream with these ponies coming out from the woodworks talking about the need Stellar Blade and they're undressing some figures and a set of sick ponies coming out. You guys remember that stream? No, all of a sudden, this game sold only 1 million. Well, we know 1 million was a bad sale, but listen to this guy here. Listen to Mr. Colin Moriarty, as he calls the Xbox community idiots. I had to edit it, guys. He was cursing too much, so I had to edit it. But listen to this. Listen to this video here, and let's react to it. Listen.
Nonsense around this game is so funny to me, and it all comes just from annoying fanboyish like people.
Stop right there. So Colin Moriarty is saying that the nonsense coming out from Stellar Blade is coming from a set of fanboys. Colin here is speaking like he is above fanboys, like he is so superior to fanboys. We know Colin Moriarty was one of the biggest pony fanboy it ever had on IGN. This guy was the epitome of being a fanboy, a pony fanboy. Colin, tell me something, Colin. I want to show Colin something. Colin, look at this. Tell me if this is you, Mr. Colin. Is this you, Colin? You are talking about fanboys? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this guy here. He is talking about fanboys, but he is bareback with a pony scarf around his neck, holding a PlayStation Move with a glowing purple ball on it. Who is the fanboy here, guys? Come, he have the gall to say something about. Look at this dude. In my 20s, I would not have done this. This is cringy. This is nerd pony fanboyism. But nothing is wrong with being a nerd. Nothing is wrong with being a fanboy. But at least own it. Own it. Come on, Colin. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame. So yes, this guy have the gall to say something about being a fanboy. Let's continue with the video and let's see what he says here.
1 million copies for Stellar Blade is exceptional.
No, it's not. If anyone says that 1 million units sold for Stellar Blade is exceptional. Now, exceptional, guys, is greater than good. It's greater than great. Exceptional is on a class on its own. You understand what I'm saying? He is saying that Stellar Blade selling 1 million is exceptional. Is this guy smoking gin? What is he talking about? Exceptional?
Everyone made their money back and then some. It's going to get a sequel. What do people really?
Now, how does Colin know that everyone made back their money? Was he on the development team? Is Colin behind the scenes looking at Sony's books, seeing how much Sony paid for this exclusive deal, seeing how much the game took to make, seeing how much advertisement made, how much money was spent on advertisement, and he's coming to the conclusion that everyone made back the money? Now, we know that the industry today is different from the industry yesterday. What is viewed as successful today is not viewed as successful. I mean, what is you viewed as successful yesterday is not viewed as successful today. We know that these companies, especially companies like Sony, want 3 times on their returns when it comes. So if this game didn't make 3 times on their returns, I will not say that this was a great success. 1 million is definitely an L. Eric Golden, what's up, man? Coin, what's up, man? Who else I'm missing here? Cupid, welcome, my guy. Who else I'm missing? I miss anyone? OG Newbie, what up? Did I get everybody? Yeah. Andrew John Williams, what up, man? Yeah. Let's face it. He is capping. We all know it.
Expect. Why is it that Street Fighter 6 or Dragon's Dogma are considered amazing successes at 2 or 3 million copies sold on multiple platforms, but when a game sells 1 or 2 or 3 million copies on PlayStation 5 alone, that's not good enough? Final Fantasy 16, 3 million copies sold. Oh my God, it could have sold much more. It's like, it sold more than Street Fighter 6 did on multiple consoles. It's selling more than Dragon's Dogma 2 did on multiple consoles.
No, Colin here has to be ignorant. He has to be ignorant because Stellar Blade did not sell more than Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma is sitting at, I believe, 10 million. And Dragon's Dogma did 2.4 million, I believe, in the first 2 months. So even if you was to compare it with Dragon's Dogma, Stellar Blade failed. Now, but you know why we are making this a big deal, guys? Let me tell you the main reason why we are making this a big deal. Isn't the PlayStation community saying that they are the ones who buy games? Am I lying, guys? Isn't the PlayStation community said that they are the ones buying games?
This is a sickness. It is deviant. Therefore, we don't want it.
not buying games, right? In addition to that, they are the ones who said that they just support the developers. Am I lying? Go on Twitter and you would see that the PlayStation community are the community that is saying that they buy games. Hey, Adrian, what up, man? What up? Nice to have you here, man. Yeah. So why would Colin say that, we are making a big deal off of it when he himself would have said on numerous occasions that Game Pass is not sustainable. It has trained the Xbox gamers not to buy games. Now you are saying that here what? Dragon's Dogma sold, Stellar sold more than Dragon's Dogma? Come on, man. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. In addition to that, these guys also said that Starfield failed. You guys could remember that? You guys could remember Starfield. These guys said that Starfield failed and flopped. Although it ranked very high on the Metacritic. Look at this here. I want you guys to look at this. Right? Let me minimize this and let me go on this. Tell me what you guys see here. What you guys see here? The PlayStation community said Starfield flop, right? But when it is we look at the records of the games that sold, Starfield sold was the number one game in September, beating Mortal Kombat 1. And we could get an idea how much Starfield sold by looking at the sales of Mortal Kombat 1. Because once we get the sale of Mortal Kombat 1, then we will know how much Starfield sold. Because we know Microsoft don't release numbers, but we know that Mortal Kombat 1 sold just over, I believe, 1.8 million or 1.5 million. Or it could be 1.8 million in the first, I believe, 3 days. And if Mortal Kombat 1 did so well, then what did Starfield do to get this number one spot? Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, and these guys are supposed to be journalists. If Starfield failed by selling close to 2 million copies in its first month, then what did Stellar Blade do? How could Stellar Blade be exceptional? That was the word he said. That were the words he used, right? But we know, again, he is a Sony fanboy and he's going to cap for Sony come what may. Let's listen.
These are just examples, of course.
Yeah.
I don't understand why everyone's so hard on PlayStation exclusives, which sell extraordinarily well, and then people just ignore.
What's up, Omar? Omar, one of the biggest pony and jabronis out here. What up? Welcome.
Or multi-platform games that sell comparable numbers and call them successes. It's just shit. Obviously, it's a big deal that Stellar Blade sold 1 million copies. You'd have to be an idiot to think that Stellar Blade selling 1 million copies on one console with a user base of 60 million people is not a lot. This is a niche.
No, that's bad. That's bad. How could 1 million to a player base of 60 million be good? How that could be be exceptional? I'm trying to understand what this Colin guy is talking about. This is a hardcore journalist guy. This guy has history in the industry, and he's making such a stupid comment that 1 million to 60 million a player base is good. No. I can't accept that. I can't accept that.
Oh, good! One and done!
He ain't getting up!
I can't do it, Colin. I can't do it. You know 1 million is terrible. You know. How could you stand here and said it's good?
It's somewhat provocative, difficult, and not accessible game. You think mom is going to Target and buying Stellar Blade for her 14-year-old?
Now, one of the arguments he's using is that because Teleblade is niche, meaning it, it caters to maybe the male audience, to those teenagers or so forth. That this is why it's sold 1 million. This is what he's saying here. But there are many games that was niche or niche, and it sold well. One of my subscribers would have named ARMS on the Nintendo Switch. That sold, I believe, 2.5 million in the first month. That shows that the Nintendo fans went out and supported that game, right? Come on. So then why are you using this argument as being niche as a reason that why? Now, notice what he's doing here. On one hand, he's saying it's exceptional, and on the other hand, he's making excuses as to why it sold 1 million. You guys notice that? If the game is exceptional and 1 million is exceptional, then you don't need to make excuses for why it sold 1 million. But would you guys agree to that?
Or do you think it's a game for adults? I just don't understand. It's so tiresome, because it's just not true.
Yes, it's tiresome, Colin, because anytime Sony is criticized, anytime someone says anything bad about poor little Sony, oh look, Sony is so poor, gosh, you guys keep talking bad about Sony. No, we have to, because this fan base is sick and they need a cure.
Great success. So I congratulate Shift Up and Sony for this. I'm very curious about the sequel and what will go on with that. And I think the game will find incredible value for PC gamers, probably. I mean, I can't imagine what they're going to do to Eve.
Oh, man, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough existence on Twitter the day that game comes out.
It's just people that don't know anything about video games and the video game industry.
Colin is congratulating Sony on this, and we are telling the Sony fans
you suck.
Did you guys hear what I said there? So Colin said that he is congratulating the Celeblade team. I mean, Celeblade, they did a good job with the game and so forth. It looks good. It plays good when I look at the reviews and so forth. But the Sony fans deserve that boo. They deserve this boo. They did not go out and support this game, and they are trying to justify this game selling only 1 million copies. This is sad on all metrics, guys. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Propagating information that's absurd. Yeah, no, $70 million gross revenue for a brand new game on one console. No, that's horrible. It's like, I just don't know what people think is going on out there. They're probably amped up about this, and they should be. And I think they have something special, especially considering that I think in games, especially that, games don't often hit their stride until the second game. Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, Resistance, Killzone. We brought up Titanfall before. A lot of the second games in those franchises are considered classics. A lot of people don't like the first games in some of those classes. Like, a lot of people don't like the first Assassin's Creed game. A lot of people think Titanfall is kind of boring, the first one, because there's no campaign. A lot of people...
Now, if the game is successful, guys, then why is he saying that a game don't hit its stride based on the, after the second game? Is the game successful or not, Colin? Is it that games really start to sell those 3 and 4 millions at the second game? Or is it that this was a failure for the first game? You can't have it both ways. And this is what he's trying to sell the community here, right? Let's be honest.
Thought Killzone was very stiff on PS2. Like, it takes a moment.
Yeah.
So they've built more runway to build a bigger plane and take off. And I think it's going to be really exciting to see. It's going to take time. I assume we don't get a sequel to Stellar Blade until at the earliest 2027. I think that's probably pushing it.
It's a while away.
But there will be a sequel. I think as a business-oriented person that's interested in the kind of minutia of the industry, what I'm most interested in is can they bring it to others? And I don't mean leaving PlayStation. I simply mean like, can they just publish it? Like if I were them, I would just publish it myself.
Yes, I agree, Colin. I agree 110%. Sony should, Arrowhead should bring this game to the Xbox. And let me show you guys real support, because it's very clear that the PlayStation community, after hyping it up, after saying all sorts of things about yams and buns and color greens, you guys did not go out and support this game, and that is very clear. Now, let's look at another story here today, guys, because it went from Palworld being dead and everyone hyping up Helldivers 2 to this here. And I want the PlayStation community to explain this. They need to explain it because I'm not seeing why it happened, right? PlayStation community, could you explain this? Look at this here. Why am I seeing that after initial success, Helldivers 2 has lost 90%? You guys are hearing that? 90%? Oh gosh, yes, buddy. How could these ponies show their faces in public? They are the ones who was capping for Helldivers. Why am I seeing 90% down? Yatazar with the $5. He said Cellerblade should have added it on PlayStation 4 too, because the game runs on Unreal Engine 4. That would have boosted sales. Just shows you Sony hustling backwards. And you're right, because if they would have added this game to the PlayStation 4, they would have. I'm positive they would have seen 3 million sales. 3 million sales. They would have seen 3 million sales coming to this game if it was on the PlayStation 4. So Yatazar, you are absolutely right. Thank you very much for that $5 dono, man. Thank you for that. Hey, I'm seeing a $20. Come on, man. Come showing support again. Brong Devil, what up? Put yourself in that. Put yourself in that room, Pastor. Rest in peace, Xbox. I hope Sony gets the Xbox Elite controller so I can finally leave Xbox. You pony, you. I'm not putting myself in no room, man. I run the show. I'm not going in no room. But thank you for that support, Brown Devil. Yeah, buddy. Let me drop some bombs here for both Yatazar, Anonymous Boss, and of course Brown Devil. Let me drop some bombs here for you guys, man. Come on, man. Thanks for that support, man. Drop those bombs, man. Come on. So yeah. So why is Helldivers 2 seeing a 90% drop in player count? I thought this game was the game of the year. I thought this game, Sony is really shutting down things with this game. Why is this game having a 90% drop? Now, it says, okay, this article was published on the 6th of the 29th, whatever. There is always some announced. There's always something announced when player count declines are brought up in the gaming space. But in this case, it's a fairly significant story. We are not talking about Starfield losing 90% of its players since launch as a single-player game. Rather, this is Helldivers 2. which was meant to be Sony's big proof of concept. It can make a big impact in the live service space. Now, this is a big deal, guys, because remember, Sony was betting everything on live services game. I mean, they have a lot of games in development that are live services. Now, what would Sony do after seeing such a steep drop off of this game, man? What would Sony do? I mean, this is 90% is no big. I mean, these guys made a big deal for Starfield dropping off 90%. That is not a game as a surface. But I mean, still, Helldivers 2 is a live service game, and this is the numbers they are having right now. Terrible. But a few months after launch, the game has seen extremely steep declines. And despite new additions and Galactic War plot turns, nothing is reversing course. So apparently, Helldivers was dropping new modes, new things to do, but it still was not bringing back the players. The simultaneous release of Helldivers 2 on the PlayStation and the PC helped make it a huge hit, especially on the PC, right? And we all know, guys, let's be honest. The ponies have to be honest. We saw the June player count of how many persons, what is PlayStation gamers playing, what is the Xbox playing, and what are the PC players are playing. And guess who is the only platform that is supporting Helldivers 2? And that is PC. No other platform. To believe Helldivers 2 is also a PlayStation exclusive, and the PlayStation players are not playing it. This game is supported and fueled by the PC community. That's a fact. That's not how it named. Up for discussion. What's up, Max City? What's up, Max City's in the house? One of the biggest Xbox supporters, Max City Saltwagon, the based teacher, Cohen Roberts. What up, guys? Other Zinc, what up? Edward, what up? Gary Rogers, did I shout out Gary Rogers? What up, man? Welcome, guys. Yeah, so this is looking bad for Sony, guys. This is looking bad for Sony. How could Helldivers return from a 90% decline? I will tell you why. I will tell you how they could return. They could return by putting it on Xbox. No, we don't want it. I just want to see the mental breakdown of all the PlayStation fans, all these ponies, if they see Helldivers 2 coming. I mean, that would be a glorious day. I mean, come on, man. You guys have to admit it. I would pay to see these ponies lose their minds to see Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox platform. I mean, we have enough games. We don't need it. But yeah, Helldivers 2, guys, right now is in a bad state. We don't know how they are going to recover. Come on, man. Who else? 22? What's good, chat, Pastor? What's Pastor misleading the chat? What up, who else? What up? Now, I saw a video, guys. And this video really had me thinking. I don't know if you guys saw this video. I mean, it's coming from a YouTuber that you guys may know. But it really got me thinking. And maybe we can have a discussion right now in the chat as to what you guys think about this particular theory, as it will, when it comes to Xbox, right? A very good theory, and we really need your thoughts on it. Now, look at this here, guys. Tell me what you guys think about this theory, about this. I know how it would sound initially, but stay on and you will see where this is going. Look at this video here. Now, this video is brought to you by a guy named Samurai Kibi or Kibiji, right? Great video, great content, right? Don't forget to like it, right? Look at this video here. Tell me what you guys think about what he's saying here, right? Let me put it full screen. Look at this.
So ever since I saw that Blade trailer at the Game Awards last year, something big has been on my mind about Xbox. And I think they just confirmed it. What does that Blade trailer have in common with these 3 games on screen that we all...
Let me ask the chat if they know. Yatazar with the $2 dono. Looks like Concord might beat BOA. Good God, yes. I forgot about Concord. No. I mean, if Helldivers was something new, was something fresh, and it saw such steep declines, what would happen to Concord? This is crazy. Now let's get back to this video here. Thanks again, Yatazar, for that $2 dono. Let's get back to this here. Let me hear what you guys think about this.
The Game Awards last year, something big has been on my mind about Xbox. And I think they just confirmed it. What does that Blade trailer have in common with these 3 games on screen that we...
Let me see if you guys know. These 3 games has something in common. Do you guys know? Well, Yatazar, you are not in it because you saw the video. What does these 3 games have in common, guys? Let me hear if you guys know. Let me see if anyone in the chat knows what it have in common. You guys knows? Well, we will see.
We also just got trailers for. It's been right in front of our faces this whole time, and these Xbox execs are teasing and hiding it.
I'll refrain from comment.
My fellow speculators, this is how Xbox plans to remove themselves from the competition, but it's gonna be a big gamble. I got some reports and whatnot that I'm gonna flash on screen through this whole thing to...
Yeah, Max City got it exclusive. Now, a lot of the ponies said the reason why it is that they did not have an Xbox Series logo is because it's coming to PlayStation. And when you first hear this video, you would think that is where he's going, that, you know, Microsoft is going to bring all their exclusives to PlayStation, right? But bear with me, because he have a very good theory that I believe this is what Microsoft is doing, right? And it's a brilliant idea if it is true. Listen.
Back up certain ideas and claims that I have, but just know the answer to that trailer question, it's just they're all missing a very obvious label that every single other game in that Xbox showcase we got this year had. So why are these 4 trailers missing that label? It has to do with the big 3 and just the fact that as much as I love Xbox, you know, they admit it. Tons of people that aren't flag wavers will admit it. They've been riding this 3rd place train for a long time in the whole console holder between Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. But they're constantly compared to PlayStation. Why are they never compared to Nintendo? The GameCube launched right alongside the Xbox and the PlayStation 2.
I believe Nintendo would have pulled away from the console business, and they kind of separated themselves with the Nintendo Switch. That is why everyone basically put PlayStation versus Xbox, because they're the only one who has similar type of hardware. They are competing for the same type of customers. I mean, if it is you own an Xbox or a PlayStation, you wouldn't see a problem owning a Switch, right? Or having a Switch in your household. I mean, I had 2 Switches this generation, an OG Switch and a Switch OLED. But all of this has helped us to see that what Microsoft need to do is something different. Phil Spencer did a great job by stop renting games, which is buying third-party exclusives, and he went to owning these games. That was an excellent move, and we saw in this showcase that move that Phil Spencer did is now seeing its returns. We are seeing the type of games that these studios are pumping out, right? Other things said how these ponies have dust. You're right. No, Agent Slugger said these ponies have dust. Listen.
We launched right alongside the PlayStation 3 and the 360. The Wii U launched right alongside the Xbox One and PS4. To say that they're just different, that's not exactly just it. They launched their next system, their next gen console, even though it wasn't a big leap in graphics or whatever, but still, they launched What their idea for their next generation was over 3 years after and before that Xbox and PlayStation would do the same. There's a lot of reports and rumors that are saying Xbox is going to get a jump start on the next generation and release their next gen system, maybe systems, there's more on that in a moment, in 2026, which will be...
Now, tell me what you guys think about this. What you guys think about Xbox getting a jump on their console in 2026, right? Getting a jump on Sony, maybe releasing same time with the Nintendo Switch 2. What do you guys thought about that? I mean, Sarah Bourne is hype about it. She's saying it will be the greatest technological leap in any console. What do you guys think about Xbox jumping ahead of the console generation, ahead of Sony? Are there benefits to it? Let me know in the comment sections, guys.
Be 2 years ahead of the 2028 proposal for PlayStation 6, apparently. Now, there's a lot of people that have talked about this already, but the thing I don't see a lot of people talking about is this potential that the next-gen Xbox is moving completely forward and away from the Xbox Series family. No more S, no more X. It is just this next-gen system. So why are we talking about this now? What does that have to do with the 4 trailers? Well,
I mean, it's crazy, guys, but I think he might be onto something here, man. I think he might be onto something here. If Microsoft leaves the Xbox Series, the Xbox Series line, we are not talking about not supporting it. They would still support the game or those consoles going forward, right? They will still support the consoles going forward. But if they remove the next console from the series line, what you guys think? How will that affect that generation?
Those 4 trailers, Blade, State of Decay 3, Gears of War E-Day, Perfect Dark, they are all 4 missing this platform label that every other game in that Xbox showcase had. If you look at all the trailers in that showcase, they all let us know, hey, this is going to be on Xbox Series. Even the 2025 games. The 2025 games you see like Doom, Fable, South of Midnight, they all have that Game Pass or Xbox Series S and X at the bottom of it. Even the partnered stuff like Fragpunk, Winterboro, Mixtape, and Atomfall, they all had just a bland Xbox label on it, which probably means that they intend to release it either on the Xbox One and Xbox Series, just to have that open, or maybe something else. They just kind of want to keep it open. It's going to be on an Xbox platform of some kind. So why didn't these 4 games have even a label like that?
I can see it, I feel it. It's cooking.
No, well, I'm seeing this being plausible because this is the exact same thing that happened in the 360 generation. The 360 came out before the PlayStation 3. They got a jump start. At the time, the 360 was more powerful than the PlayStation 2. Who else? So it's not something new that Microsoft is doing. Although Microsoft has the most powerful console now, getting a jump start would mean the best running games on that platform, better than the PlayStation 5 Pro, better than any one of the Xbox able. Let's have the best version. And I'll tell you something. When persons realize that they are getting hot exclusive content on an Xbox console, in addition to Game Pass, in addition to better frame rates and so forth, guess what? We might be looking at a 360 generation all over again. That is what makes it different. Who else?
These 4 games are planned to exclusively release on the next-gen system in 2026 and beyond. That is a bold claim, and I have some visuals I'm going to pop up to back that up. And I would imagine there is a lot of concerns over if this is true. Like a lot of people, and I'm one of them, like it just feels like this next-gen just started. You're telling me you're going to kind of just leave behind that previous gen? Here's why they're doing this, and I actually think it's a pretty good idea. Some reports are claiming that they are...
What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think he's onto something here? Xbox releasing their next generation console in 2026. Now, I can't wait until Microsoft does that to basically rub it in the PlayStation fans' face again. I mean, these ponies have been wrong so many times. I can't wait to rub it in their face again. Let's see how this develops, but I believe he's onto something here.
Are ditching the double SKU strategy, aka the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X, aka the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X. They are apparently moving on from that strategy that has resulted with games having to have like perfect parity with each other, other than maybe graphic resolution or frame rate. Things like Baldur's Gate 3 not launching. Things like Black Myth Wukong not launching. Things like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 being held back by that Series S hardware as to what they had planned for the game. And
you know why I don't like that talking point? I don't like the talking point that the Series S is holding back the games. I am of the firm belief that these developers don't want to take the time to develop for the Series S. The Series S is a very capable console. I don't have it, but I've seen what it could do. It's very capable, and let's face it, these developers don't want to take the time. They want quick, easy access to getting these games ported over to other platforms. This is why they are taking their time when it comes to bringing some of the games onto Xbox, because they don't want to spend that time to make it for the Series S. But I understand what he's saying. No longer will it have any parity with any weaker console. They would have to develop only for one console.
It's become a challenge to cater to that promise in exchange for that cheaper price that might sell more of that hardware. It's also led to the first parties having to build for that system rather than focusing on the Series X. Xbox had a cross-gen strategy for this gen. They wanted to not only have the two, consoles for people to choose from, but they also wanted to cater to the Xbox One side of things. Even just the first year of the Series family,
P. Strong said what? These ponies haven't realized yet. They are not getting a PlayStation 5 Pro. Well, we'll wait and see, man. I mean, I don't believe in rumors, but if it is that Sony is sticking to the model that they had prior, we will see what they did. I mean, they came out with the PlayStation 4 Pro. That was the first of its kind. Let's see if they stick to that model, because I know the PlayStation 4 Pro did not sell as well, but we'll see.
You had games like Psychonauts 2, Halo Infinite, and Forza Horizon 5. Those were kind of the three big, in terms of Xbox releases. And those were all three games that released not only on both series, but even on Xbox One. PlayStation, meanwhile, not only did
Yatuza with the $2 dono. He said maybe the handheld and a home console together. Yeah. And if they implement the streaming onto the handheld, also dedicated, hard drive gameplay, I mean, they will not have to worry about the power narrative with the handheld. So it makes sense, Yatuza. It makes sense.
Did that by releasing Spider-Man Miles Morales. Say what you will about the size of that game, it was still a hype cross-gen release, but they also had a pluffer of exclusives to fully maximize that hardware. Even first-party wise, I'm talking about like Demon Souls, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Then there's the partnered stuff like the Final Fantasy VII Integrate thingy. Ironically enough, Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop. And then they had more that they were promising in the future in their first year that are exclusive to PlayStation 5, like Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, and Stellar Blade. And this point isn't about necessarily like PlayStation exclusives. It's about PlayStation 5 exclusive. Games that were fully utilizing the tech that system had that, yes, was a little bit weaker than the Series X, but a lot stronger than the Series S. So if these reports are true that Xbox is ditching that double SKU strategy, I think that'd be a good move, personally. Xbox could still own the fact that they are...
What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about ditching the dual console move, a weaker console and a much more powerful console? You guys think it would be beneficial on Microsoft's part to do that, or do you guys like having a weaker console that anyone could buy. It's reasonable and a very powerful console. What do you guys think about the double strategy? Or which one would you rather, the double strategy or the just one powerful console, like in the Xbox 360 days?
Top notch and backwards compatibility, which, oh my God, point number 3, there is a massive note about that. Maybe the way they'll counteract this is like have the whole cloud thing working for the series to play next gen systems. They already kind of do that with the Xbox One. And by then, they've worked out a lot of kinks. And before we get back to those games and that being the biggest factor, like a really quick note is point number 2, the 360 and Switch effect. Xbox admitted that losing the 8th gen, aka PS4, Xbox One, that was huge. That literally shifted everything as people transitioned to like the digital era and kind of moving on and so on. So what's the solution? You separate yourself from the competition rather than trying to compete with them. Even though Sarah Bond said that this is going to be like the biggest technical leap that any console's ever had, does that mean that the PlayStation 6 will be weaker? No, probably not. It's probably going to be a way more hardware technical console. But that isn't as important as just separating yourself. We've seen something like the Switch still, it's close to being the highest sold console ever, and it is not a super graphical powerhouse. And the way that
I'm going to tell you guys something. PlayStation is very afraid that the Switch outsells the PlayStation 2. Very, very afraid. That's why Jim Ryan got 6 million copies in his 6 million more consoles, PlayStation 2 consoles that is, in his backyard. You remember when Jim Ryan just came up and said, you know what? The PlayStation 2, no, we were counting the numbers wrong in the first, 10 or 15 years. Really and truly, the PlayStation 2 has this amount that took it to, I believe, 155. You remember that, guys?
That Xbox got a big leap on, and if we are going to do the console wars with PlayStation, it was when they released a full year ahead of the PlayStation 3 with the 360 era, which was...
Yeah, buddy. The 360 era was when I started to love Xbox. I mean, I came in with Halo. I mean, Halo 3. That was the thing on Xbox 360, man. Come on, man. Me and the friends used to play that game to death, man.
Was our favorite era. Like, let me know. Like, I actually love the series era personally, but I think it'd be hard to argue that the 360 era was when they were like, this time they're going 2 years ahead, kind of like the Switch, with them doing it for over 3 years. You hear Sarah Bond, both in the business update earlier this year and in the Xbox showcase, going like, we are like fully, like we are gunning and rushing to get.
But I thought the pony said that Xbox is done with hardware. Why is he able to comprehend that Microsoft is making more hardware? Oh God, these ponies are really sick. Yes, I don't know what to say.
To that next gen, like we are committed. We're working on it already.
My brother Trilla Ali is in the house. What's up, my brother? No, man, Trilla Ali has been a big help since I got my YouTube channel, man. Much respect to you, Trilla Ali.
Like, she is outwardly expressing that, and you can kind of feel it in her voice. Like, they are legit gearing up for this plan. A plan that could lead to my favorite point in this whole thing, the craziest launch year in the history of Xbox. Maybe even the craziest launch year of just anything ever. If you thought...
No, I don't believe Microsoft will do this. I don't believe Microsoft will release so many AAA games in the launch year. It will be too crazy. Listen to what he's going to say here.
Thought this year's Xbox Game Showcase was insane? Dude. Okay. 2026 marks the 20th anniversary of Gears of War, which we...
So, I didn't know that before. So, 2026 is the 20th anniversary of Gears of War. I mean, things are aligning there. If the new console releases on 2026, that will be the perfect time for Gears of War EDA to be released. It would also, they would also be able to celebrate that 20th anniversary of Gears of War. I mean, things are looking like it's adding up there.
would be a perfect time to release Gears of War E-Day, kind of like they released Halo Infinite on its 20th anniversary. The schedule for Blade, Perfect Dark, and State of Decay 3 really line up to be released in 2026, if not very shortly after, with all three games being in development.
Guys, if the new Xbox launches with Blade, Gears of War E-Day, Perfect Dark, what you guys think that sales would be, man? I mean, that would be crazy. I mean, it is sounding good, but I don't think Microsoft would release all those games in 1 year. That is too many first-party AAA bangers. When I mean bangers, I mean bangers. Well, let's see.
For more than 5 years. Also, 2026 will have been 5 years later from when the newest Halo game came out from 343 Industries, from Psychonauts 2 coming out from Double Fine, and from the Forza Horizon team at Playground Games. Yes, they have a separate team not working on Fable, but we're still working on Forza, as I show on screen here. And we will probably get those games released around there too, if not within that launch year. If Call of Duty takes a break in 2025, you know for a fact they will release one in 2026. And if that releases like right alongside when this console launches, yeah, it's going to be on PlayStation. Yeah, it might even be on the new Nintendo. But to play it on this powerhouse of a system and it be on Game Pass, that's going to pull a shit ton of people over. And in the FTC case where Microsoft was fighting to get Activision Blizzard King, we found out that Elder Scrolls 6 is projected to release in like 2026. Are you getting a picture of
Wow. Guys, what do you guys think about this? Is he onto something here? What do you guys think about this? Xbox is doing everything it can to separate itself from PlayStation. Yes, I agree. This is crazy. If what he's saying is true, if this theory is true, guys, Microsoft could see one of the biggest year for their console for gaming in 2026. We're talking about a brand new console being released. We're talking about some of the biggest game in the industry, Gears of War, Blade, Elder Scroll. All of these games could be released on, that new platform. Yeah? Look at this.
how crazy this is? And look, some of these games might release before the console launches, around when the console launches, and the year following. But that is still an insane lineup. I haven't even talked about like the partnered and third party stuff that they're going to gravitate to this console finally, because that's
don't forget, guys,
the highest hardware that you could just.
Don't forget, guys, to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you're new here, this is what we do. We discuss some of the latest games some of the latest stories, that would have happened during the week. And we also basically highlight some of the things the normal media is not highlighting, especially about PlayStation. This is what we do here.
Sign a game on, as long as they don't do the multiple SKU thing. This gives me the 360 vibes all over again. You're releasing 2 years ahead. You're going to have the biggest hardware to release games on, and it's just games. Games sell systems. And and you remember that massive note that I got close to the mic for earlier? Yeah, Xbox is kind of the leader when it comes to backwards compatibility. And even if there's games that release,
these guys were making a big deal on Sony becoming backwards compatible, and Microsoft have been doing this for years. Microsoft have been, the leaders when it comes to backwards compatibility, but they are making a big deal for. I mean, these parties are so down bad, man. It's crazy.
It's like multi-platform from those third parties or whatever. It's going to play the best on this system that will have released 2 years later from the PS5 Pro, if that's even happening. Even games that don't release on it exclusively, it will still be the best place to play everything. And all.
If Microsoft really wants to get moving, they need to have some sort of advertisement deal with, Grand Theft Auto. They need to have some sort of advertisement. I mean, they have enough games and enough heavy hitters that they don't really need it. But I mean, Grand Theft is a whole other beast of its own.
The games I listed earlier from first party will be things that people just sign up with Game Pass to play them. When I think about those 4 trailers and why they didn't have those labels, it really, like, this makes sense to me. This is the plan. This is the way that Xbox plans to really not overtake everybody, but rather just separate themselves. They have like a 2-year response to the PS5 Pro. They have a
Yes, Microsoft need to bring back that 360 era. If they do that, we are seeing that they would be really ahead and separate themselves from Sony. Right now, they're already doing it with the deals that they are making. We are seeing that they have a lot of games right now. They have a lot of studios, and Microsoft is really doing their stuff.
2-year jump from the PS6. They have enough time to be away from the next Nintendo system. It makes all 3 of these guys become their own thing. Sure, PlayStation will have a big jump on them when they release the PS6 with hardware, but it's like, by that time, is it going to matter much? We've kind of...
Yes, when the PlayStation 3 came out ahead of the after the 360, they had a jump when it comes to the graphics, but it didn't matter because a lot of the companies already was accustomed to making games for the 360. So even though the PlayStation had a lot more graphics, to understand that cell processing was difficult, and that made the console to port your game over to be the 360. That is what happened in the 360 generation.
kind of already reached our graphical peak, so is it going to matter much? Okay. Let's calm down, because yes, there are issues with this plan. Like, how much would this next gen system cost? Like, that's concerning. Is this going to be approachable for anybody? Can they really commit to a single SKU strategy? Like, there's a lot of us that are debating about, will handheld be a thing? And will Xbox have really earned people's trust back by, having a constant stream of quality games? Other than a bunch of reports from insiders, we're going to have to wait on those first two questions. But the quality debate, that's already been settled here. And spoilers?
Yeah, guys, I mean, this is a crazy theory, but I believe it could happen. This could happen, guys. I mean, today we saw where it is Palworld player count soared after, getting that major update. The PlayStation community said Palworld was dead, but it's very clear that there is still persons out there who is willing to play Palworld and who want to play Palworld. I mean, there are some ponies even hyping that there are rumors Palworld is coming to the PlayStation 5. We saw that the big deal that these ponies were making when Microsoft made the deal with Amazon, that here what Microsoft is forgetting their console and so forth. We understood, because we're not like these ponies, we understood this is a deal for cloud. And guess what? Guess who was doing it? And guess who were looking to do that exact same thing that Microsoft is doing currently? Was Sony. Sony wanted to bring their PlayStation service to Fire Stick, to Amazon TV, and to the Roku. So when these ponies talk crap, we show them the evidence. In addition to that, guys, we saw where Colin Moriarty is none other than a pony who, although been in the industry for years, he don't know what is going on. And a matter of fact, we could confidently say that he is one.
Y'all smoking crack. Something is wrong with you people.
Crack cocaine. This is what these guys are smoking. Yeah? These ponies are smoking crack on a daily basis. That is why they come up with these foolish logics. We also saw where it is this theory that Microsoft might get a 2-year jump on the new PlayStation, which is the PlayStation 6. That is why we saw Blade, Gears of War ED, and also State of Decay not having a console name released on their game. It was left blank, right? So this is something that, is very interesting. Let me hear what you guys thought about it. Do you guys have any question? Does the chat, now I'll take a little time to answer some questions here in the chat. What questions you guys have for me? Let's take a few and then we'll call it a night. What question do you guys have for me? Let me see. It was a great stream as usual. Special thanks to Anonymous Boss. Special thanks to Yataza. Also to Brong Devil. Special thanks to you guys for supporting the stream. Much appreciated. It says, Automata says, imagine the PlayStation 5 in 2025 and the Xbox release a new console in 2026. That will be hilarious. Yataza says, what do you think about Sony stopping this production? I mean, that is sad. I mean, they should have not fired the workers. They could have put them into their workforce instead of just firing those workers who would have made Blu-ray DVDs for you for years. I mean, come on, man. Sony has enough money. They are number one in gaming, according to these so-called ponies. Why are you firing so much workers? Come on. But it's sad that they had to do it. But we're seeing that the physical media is dying. Who else says? Yataza said thanks. Who else says? Pastor Real Talk, they're saying the hurricane supposed to be hitting the Caribbean. Yeah, man. Hey, if you guys live in the Caribbean, you guys need to be safe. I hope you guys prepared. You guys made sure that your roof is okay. Made sure that your windows is knocked up because there is, a hurricane hitting. I mean, Trinidad, where I live, is not so much in danger, but Barbados is in danger. Grenada might be in danger. So you guys, please stay safe. Make sure you guys are safely tucked inside because we cannot underestimate the forces of nature, guys. Be safe out there. Thanks for that one. Who else? Bay Area said, should Xbox hold Gears idea for the next Xbox launch or drop it ASAP? That's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, in order, now, Microsoft did say that they are supporting the console. If it is they are supporting the next generation of console, they should release it. They should leave it as a new console release. I mean, it would sell gangbusters because there's a lot of Gears of War fans out there. Persons are literally crying for it. So I can imagine the type of hype and the type of consoles it would sell. Yeah. A base teacher is Tobago and Barbados. Yeah. Tobago is also on hurricane alert. Not so much my country, which is Trinidad. But yeah, you guys need to stay safe. Great show, Agent Slugger. Thanks, man. Yeah. So guys, that's the end of the show. Thanks so much for the comments. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for the donations. I mean, it is much appreciated. I mean, the more I get it, the more I'll start to upgrade. I'm looking into other platforms. I mean, really good stuff here. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I might be dropping a video tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Tuesday. So you guys, take it easy. You guys be safe. Don't forget to kneel down and say your prayers, guys. God first and mankind after. Take it easy. Later.